Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. On today's show, we'll have the Saskatchewan Pension Plan CEO, Chad Hilton, as well as Tammy Sweeney, the CEO for TCU Place in Saskatoon. And as always, we'd like to connect with you. Email us at rtvsaskatoon@rci.rogers.com. Find us on Facebook at ConnectYXE and catch past interviews on our YouTube channel. The Saskatchewan Pension Plan has been around for a long time, and I'd like to introduce you to the CEO for the Saskatchewan Pension Plan, Chad Hilton, here in the studio. Thanks for coming down to the studio.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
I want to talk a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the Saskatchewan Pension Plan.
Sure. So my background, I'm from Saskatchewan. Originally, Yorkton is my hometown. So proud to call that home. I was in Alberta for a number of years, but retail banking has been my background for about the last 20 years. I had worked both in a business advisory role, a direct client advisory role, and then got into leadership positions where I was a vice president with one of the large banks for a number of years, and then a regional vice president as well, which then took me over to SPP.
So the history of the Saskatchewan Pension Plan, I've been a member since 1996. Talk a bit about that.
For sure. So you've been with us right from the very beginning. Yeah. So 1986 was when we came to be through provincial legislation. But quite a journey since that time. So celebrating 40 years right away here this year, which we're happy to announce. But the journey really was one of longer term evolution. So we started here in Regina as our head office, eventually moved to Kindersley. From there, it was really about refining the approach that we had for members and the product offerings. So between 1996 and 1998, we allowed for spousal contributions to the plan. In 2010, contribution limits increased for our members. 2016 was the big 30th anniversary. And in 2023, limits were removed. So ultimately what that means is we operate now in such a way where anybody can transfer the full value of their RRSP as an individual, and then can contribute also up to the maximum of their annual limit as well too.
So what are you most proud of when you look back at some of that history in your time here?
Sure. Lots to be proud of, lots to celebrate. One of the things that we would note from a size perspective is we rank 21 to 22 out of the 50 largest DC plans in Canada, which is a wonderful made in Saskatchewan success story. But there's three pieces I would really want to highlight in terms of most proud of. The first would be the team that we have both in Kindersley and here in Saskatoon. We've got some wonderful individuals that care deeply about our members, and you've probably experienced that when you've called in to talk to our folks as well. So the team would be the first one. The second really would be our members. Our members are advocates for us. They've trusted us to work on their retirement funds and ensure that they're set up for a successful retirement. So certainly our members would be an area that we're proud of as well. Our business community here in Saskatchewan and across the country, truly incredible. They are supporters of us, and when we think about Saskatchewan, the weight that our business community carries is really quite something. There's 150,000 small businesses within the province of Saskatchewan, and they contribute a little over $7 billion in wages to our local economy as well. So that's really quite something to celebrate, and we're happy to partner with many of the small businesses as well.
So how does that fit into anyone's individual strategy as a whole? If
Sure.
you kind of say, I have an RSP and I can have a Saskatchewan Pension Plan?
Correct. So we really operate in two distinct lines of business. Yeah. The first being the pensions that we will support for small to medium-sized businesses, essentially businesses of any size. But that's the first line of business for us. The second is individuals. So as you mentioned, can you as a private individual have a pension plan with SPP? Yes, you can. So it can work in concert with your retirement savings, or you can transfer in the full value of your RRSP to us and run it through Saskatchewan Pension Plan as well.
So what happens if I live in Saskatchewan and I maybe get transferred to Alberta or BC or Ontario, can I still belong? Or
You can.
if I end up moving there, can I still leave the plan intact and contribute?
You can. So while we are the Saskatchewan Pension Plan, we have the ability to have members across the country. So if you are part of an employer-based plan and you move and relocate, that's fine. It's portable. It goes with you. You own it. If it is an individual plan that you have as well, the answer is the same, that regardless of where you live within the country, the plan can come with you.
So it's a voluntary plan then to start with?
It is. It is.
And do I dictate how much I can contribute to it, or does my employer, or how does that work?
Yeah, so there's a couple of options for employers out there. If they're looking to enhance their employee value proposition by allowing and offering a pension plan, there's really three streams there. They can set up the pension plan so that employees can contribute to it without the employer having to make any type of a contribution or a match. The other option is that the employer can choose some type of a match, either dollar for what their employees contribute or a fraction thereof, or percentage of. And then the third option could be a performance-based plan. It could be used as incentive to hitting business milestones or targets as well too. And it could be a one-off contribution to the employee's plan.
So is there a fee to join or belong, or are there annual fees, or how does that work?
No fees to join, no contracts. We operate in an environment of maximum flexibility, so nothing that way. But what might be common to the audience would be the term management expense ratio, or MER. That's a point of differentiation for us. Our stated MER is 1% or less, which is incredibly competitive when you consider who's out there in the field as well too. So that's something I would want to leave viewers with as a point of consideration, that our MER is very competitive as well too.
I always hear about the return of my investment, never mind on my investment.
Right.
Is there some expected rate of return, or do you have historical averages you can?
Yeah, we've got historical averages we can talk about. Our balanced fund is the principal accumulation fund that we have. So as members are contributing, that's most likely where the contributions are going. We do have a diversified income fund as well for those that want to look at a slightly more moderate profile. But over the course of the last 10 years, we've averaged 8% in the balanced portfolio.
What does it look like when I want to contribute? Is there a maximum or lump sum? Does it have to be monthly? How does that work?
So again, maximum flexibility there for you. So many people think about RRSP season. And while it's a great time to be topping up and contributing, what I would encourage folks to do is to look at regular contributions to their retirement savings. And what you end up with in doing that is it's a concept of dollar cost averaging, where you're buying a piece of the market, a piece of the portfolio at multiple times over the course of the month. And that does give you typically better performance, where you're not necessarily buying when the market's high. When the market does decline, you're buying more units. Better for you as well too. So to answer the question, is there a maximum? You're bound by your RRSP limit for the year, but you can also transfer in any RRSP holdings you have outside of SPP.
So when I make a contribution to an RRSP, there's a tax deduction typically associated with that. Does that work the same with the Saskatchewan Pension Plan?
It does. So it's just like contributing to a regular RRSP in the sense that you get the offset of the tax credit, and it reduces the income that you would be paying tax on.
So you mentioned contributing throughout the years. Is there a deadline that you have to honor, or we as contributors have to be mindful of?
So there is an RRSP deadline, which is coming up. March 2nd is the deadline for contributing for the prior year's tax year. So we do have to keep that in mind. And then there are maximum contributions. So for the tax year, it's $32,490. That would be the maximum, but that is also subject to a factor of 18% of your income. So in order to be able to contribute that full amount, 18% multiplied by your income would take you into that $32,490 range. Should you have carry forward room from previous years, you can contribute that also. And
so if someone did want to sign up for that, do they just go online and fill something out, or is that available through a bank or a credit union?
Yeah, so not available through banks or credit unions, but exclusively through us. So you can find it on our website. Our forms are there. You can call in. We're always happy to talk to prospective members and our current members. We can take you through the process to sign up.
And that is typically online only, then, is what you're saying?
Online or over the phone.
Right.
Yeah, you bet.
And if people did want to reach out to your team, what's the best way of doing that?
So, the best way to reach out to us here, I think we're going to have the number on the screen for everybody, but saskpension.com is our website. 800 number is 1-800-667-7153. Our team's happy to speak with you.
Chad, I wish you the best of success. It's been a great program for me personally, and hopefully viewers that see this, especially newcomers that aren't aware of it, hope there's some uptake for you, and best of luck this tax season.
Very good. Thanks for having us.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.